In today's episode, we're speaking to Fred Cary again. Fred is a powerhouse entrepreneur and CEO of IdeaPros, a company that guides qualified entrepreneurs through the complexities and pitfalls of the startup world. With his entrepreneurial spirit, Fred started many businesses in different industries, created many successes, and acquired thousands of lessons along the way. His desire to give back to a community of like-minded, eccentric people led him to create IdeaPros, the world's first super venture partner, a company that can roll up its experience sleeves and provide every entrepreneur with the opportunity to see their vision become a real company with a real product. And today we're speaking to Fred about how to align your purpose and passion with money. Let's find out. Welcome. This is Gull, your money mindset expert. And once again, we have the amazing, the wonderful, the absolutely charming Fred Cary. Welcome, Frederick.
Hey, thank you so much. For a second, I thought my mom was talking to me. That's how she used to talk about me. I'll try to live up to it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I just realized I called you Frederick, so I'll call you Fred if that's okay. It's probably easier. But so Fred, everyone's heard your intro. They know how amazing you are, but please tell everybody what it is that you do.
I help entrepreneurs start businesses, change their lives, and do things that they've always wanted to do and maybe haven't had the support system to make it happen.
Wonderful. And so today we're talking about how to align your purpose and passion with money. Now that's a major task. And any entrepreneur, when they come in, they are obviously all about, especially the kind of entrepreneurs I try, they want to make money, but they're very driven. They want to create something for themselves, for their families, as well as in the community around them. How does one go about it? Because you get two lines of thought. You get people who really talk about this quite a lot, like Brian Tracy and I think Joe Dispenza and so forth. And they talk about finding a purpose and really going for it. And then you have people the likes of Alex Hamonzi, who says, don't worry about your passion or whatever. Just make money. Just find something that works and get on with it. Now, neither of them are wrong. I just want to know, why do you think this is so important, and which line of thought are you with?
Yeah. Well, just from hearing those two statements, I would ask your audience, which one feels better? One of those two approaches feels better, because in both ways you can make money. In one way, you're going to wake up and you're going to put your feet on the ground next to your bed and you're going to smile because you're doing what you feel you were meant to do. You're contributing in a way that is meaningful and impactful to you, and therefore becomes that way to the others around you. I'm sure that if you are somebody who's listening to this show, you're probably capable of making a lot of money, but it's not the money that's going to make you happy. It's the things that you do to get it to make you happy. So why not make money as a consequence of doing what it is that you want in your life, rather than having that be the goal? Because when money becomes the goal, I can assure you, you're going to have your ups and downs. You're going to be happy, then miserable, and happy, then miserable, and then just miserable all the time. So I would say, follow your passion and the money will come.
Wonderful. So how does one go about aligning the purpose and passion?
It's a difficult question. We talk about purpose and passion all the time, but a lot of times we don't get that deep. When we think, because we don't have the time, we don't have the time, and we have the bills, right?
Yes, exactly. So, I think that's the case with most people. We don't have the time and we have loads of bills.
Right. And so how do we find the time to reflect, to re-energize, to get inside of ourselves to see, are we happy? If we're not happy, why aren't we happy? What would make us happy? The way that I do it is, I spend the first 2 hours of every day, and mind you, I have to get up really early to accomplish this, doing the work of me rather than the work of my work. And so I get up, I exercise, I meditate, I do positive affirmations, I think about the personal, well, the personal things that really move me, the things that I'm grateful for in my life. And I try to read a little bit every day. And I get this done in a couple of hours period of time from about 5 to 7. And during that time, it gives you an opportunity to really reflect on you and your life and what's going well, what's not going well. Why aren't you happy? And what can you do to make you happy? And from within that pile of stuff that you're working on every morning, your purpose is going to start flowing out of there. You're going to start reflecting more. You're going to start thinking about what it is that can make you wake up with that smile on your face, if that's what you were doing every day.
So let me play a bit of a devil's advocate here and say, okay, well, what's wrong with having a thought like Alex Hamonzi? You know, I agree that, you know, I would love to get up and be very smiley and happy that I'm living my life's purpose, but it's not going to make me the kind of money that I want. And I want to have the spaghetti. I want to have a private jet. I want to have, you know, the 7-star lifestyle. And so I have to do the extra work. If someone has that argument, you know, so I don't think passion would pay me, and they have the mindset that their passion would not pay them that kind of money, what would you say to that?
I would say that go look at most of the billionaires that are out there today in the technology world, none of whom have to work. So they obviously are not in it for the money. So if your goal is to get a jet and a yacht and have $1 billion in your bank and stocks or whatever your investments are, then follow the people who have done it. None of them need to work, and they're all working. So they're obviously not working for the money.
Right.
They're working for some other greater purpose, whatever that purpose is. Maybe some of them talk about it, some of them don't. Bill Gates and Melinda, right? They're in the process of giving all their money away, or giving hundreds of millions of it away. They've had a second generation of work that's focused on doing better for humankind, and they take a lot of crap, mind you. There are several schools of thought of what they do and how they do it, but they're obviously giving money away instead of making money. So if you think I want to be a billionaire and my focus is going to be on making money, well, then you're going to be a very unusual billionaire, because all the other ones are there still working. Awesome.
Okay, I love that. I always think that I think there's just various ways of making money, and I'm so, because I'm in neither, you know, I'm in neither school of thought. I'm very much in the balanced way. I think that you have to do something that keeps your passion going. So if I look at my life, my coaching, I don't need to coach. I don't need to have the money from there. And there's no need for me to do the work or run a podcast and so forth. I do it because I enjoy it. I love what I do. I love talking to people. I love my clients, and I love the comments and the feedback I get from my audience as well from the podcast. And my accountant actually initially was thinking, you know, all the time you're dedicating to your coaching and your podcasting, if you take that into your business, you can 10x and you achieve your goals a lot faster. My thought is, this keeps me grounded, this keeps me happy, this keeps me going, and this I'll probably be doing. Coaching especially, I'll probably be doing. I'm a money mindset coach. I'll probably do to the day I die. I will be like Bob Proctor until tickle away until the last moment of my days. Whereas my other projects, and there are plenty of those, they are there to arrive at a particular financial goal. And once achieved, I'm looking to exit, like as you have. I've got, you know, a number in mind that I want to exit on, and then maybe go into other things. And once I get there, I know a more grander goal will come to. But at the moment, this is where I'm going for. But that's the financial goal, and therefore I have that. So I'm one of those people who toggles both. I have my passion project, which I love and adore, and I give it more time than I should according to my accountant. But it keeps me happy and grounded, and gives me the time and space to be able to do everything else, and that's going to give me the financial gain. Does that make sense? And how do you respond to that?
It makes sense. And one day those two things are going to merge.
Eventually they will. Yes, they will. Eventually they will. Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly how they are, but they will. And you're going to find a way to make that happen. You're industrious and very smart and successful, and you're going to find you're also very spiritual, and you want to do the right thing. So those things are going to melt. And again, I don't know how that's going to happen, but there's nothing wrong with that approach. It's just that over time, well, again, back to Bill Gates, all they do now is
Yeah.
charity work, right? So there's a way for things to happen the way they're meant to happen, even though it right now may seem like there's two divided things that you're doing. I think in a few years that's going to change.
I agree. I think eventually they will, and at the moment it's just me operating on two different points to start from. I'm working on this. This is to get me to a certain level, and this is for my happiness because I enjoy and I'm passionate about it.
Right.
What about what about people who think, okay, I'm spiritual. I just want to be happy. I just want the world to be, amazing, and I want to do something for the world. But they're not. I'm not really interested in money, and I hear that more often as a money coach. I hear that so often. I just want to be happy. I don't want money. So how would you respond to that? Because unless they overcome that mindset, they would never think about aligning their purpose and passion with money. That would never happen. So how do you respond to that?
Well, if my ex-wife was like that, we'd still be married. I think that is awesome. That's incredible. And there's a subset of people that are not driven at all by money. And that must be a very comfortable place to be. However, they're on a fundamental level, a certain amount of money is needed, right? If you want your kids to go to good school, if you want to live in a decent area, if you want to be able to drive without your car breaking down. So I think mastering the financial elements of everybody's life is important. And even if that's not your driver, you need to be able to master it. You need to understand it. You need to be able to fuel your happiness by having enough fuel in the tank to be able to do the things that you want to do.
Agreed. I think, and this is the argument that I always make, what's comfortable for you may not be comfortable for me. Everyone's idea of being comfortable is very subjective, but there's a certain amount of money that everyone needs. And if you can make that money with, by doing something that you're passionate about, that's something that you enjoy doing, then that's great. And I think that was the case with me when I was first starting out with coaching. I made more than enough money to make me comfortable, and by doing something I was absolutely passionate about. Right. But then when I decided to have grander goals and something else, I looked elsewhere. And it's not that there's nothing wrong with having those larger goals or staying where you are, but you need to know what you want. I think before we can align our purpose and passion with money, we need to know how much money you want and how do you want to go about it. And like you said, it may come to a point in a few years' time where both of my my businesses, well, both sides of my businesses end up merging together, and my M&A business ends up merging with my coaching, and I end up mingling the two together. But at this moment in time, both are serving its purpose, and both are allowing me to be where I am, which is being happy, fulfilled, satisfied, and most importantly, still around my children. I still work around my kids. My kids are my priority. I always say I'm a full-time mother with a part-time business owner. That's pretty much what I am, because my life revolves around my kids. And my used to be two, now I've got 3 cats. So I have 3 cats, my 2 kids and 3 cats. So around my 5 kids, that's who I am. That's what I get maximum happiness from. My joy starts when I see my kids and my cats, and obviously screaming at my cats half the time because they're messing around and breaking things for me and breaking my plants. But even those things, I say those things with a smile on my face. So I have so much fulfillment and satisfaction and happiness in my life that allows me to do other things. And I think people are mistaken, and this is why I wanted to get your opinion about it. They somehow think happiness and being spiritual and being prosperous is mutually exclusive. You can either be very rich and you can be very prosperous, or you can be spiritually happy. This is where I wanted to get at. What is your opinion about that?
I don't think they're mutually exclusive at all, because money represents value.
Yeah.
The money that you get is based on the value that other people see in you, whatever it is that you do. So if you think of it as a measurement more than anything else, then you can get a bit of a barometer on, unfortunately, how useful you are to others. And money follows passion. It
Mm.
doesn't work the other way around. And I'm gonna talk to you in a minute about what you're doing. And I think there's more passion in what you're doing than you give yourself credit for. But the the passion that you have to do good, the passion you have to give back, those things are very valuable.
Yeah.
But you need to have the money component. Don't let it be your driver. But if you're doing it the right way, it's going to be following you. And with you and your little therapy here, going back at you with what you're doing. When we talked before the show, and you were talking about something taking longer than you thought it was going to take, and you know how you relied on your faith to keep you going those extra months and everything. To me, it seems that there is a passion component of what you do. You're not just making an acquisition and selling it. There's a kind of a purpose behind it. You're looking for things that need fixing. You're finding a way to go in there and make them better, and
Yeah.
you're giving them out the other end better than when they came in. So it may be that you're more closely aligned with what you're doing than you think you are. And if you reflect on that, you're making the world a better place one company at a time. And
I suppose I never thought of it this way. I suppose it is, because the goal is to take something, build it up, scale it up, and actually build on that, bring other companies in under the same umbrella. And most importantly, like, you know, when we do mention coming in the next couple of days, my first and foremost goal is to go in and reassure all the staff members. That's always my goal, to make sure every single person knows their job is secure. This has got nothing, you know, this is not going to impact them in any negative way whatsoever. And over the course of the next few weeks and months, their life would actually improve by continuing to work with the company. And I will actively work on that, because that's my priority, to make sure the staff members are part of the team. There's no such thing as employee in my book. It's all team, and to reflect then the culture of the company. So yes, I suppose those things do come, because that's just part of my character, who I am. And I sort of bring that into the company whatever I go in. I never go in to break a company. It's never for profit. It's to increase the profit by generating the culture of the company in a way that everything is more profitable, everything is productive, by bringing the culture up. So yeah, I suppose it would be, and that's the way I never thought about it that way. Yeah,
I think we have an epiphany here, and what I said might happen in 2 years happened in 2 minutes. The reality is you're doing a lot of good for a lot of people, and I think one of the important things that you said there in the very important paragraph is that you really care about the people, and you want them to know that their jobs are secure and that you're there to try to make things better. So very noble, and
yeah.
and something.
Yeah, I always come from the angle that I think in business people too readily rely on numbers, and even treat human beings as numbers. And I never ever do that. These individuals have livelihoods, they have lives, they have families, and when you know, M&A happens, and it happens all over the world, one of the things that people forget is, and there's so many instances where people get told in the last minute and then lose their jobs, and they're at least apprehensive about it, what's going to happen with my job, and so forth. And that's the kind of emotion that I never want. I want people to feel safe and secure in the environment they work in, especially if they're part of my team. And because I've been in that place where I had no money and I had nothing, and I've come from a place where once, when I separated with my ex-husband, he pulled the financial card on me, and I had nothing but 137. I still remember 137 pounds and 14 pence coming to me every 4 weeks. That was where I was financially in 2017. So for me, it's important to make sure that everyone's comfortable, and that's the culture I will take. But I thought that's just part of who I am, not really what I was doing. But I guess, you know, how you do one thing is how you do everything, and that's part of me, and I cannot change that. Because when I go into new companies, that's what I bring with myself. But it benefits me as a don't know.
Right. So you take distressed companies with employees that are at risk, and you go in and save the day and make it better, and create a better environment for everybody, including you. So that's what you do, not M&A.
Fabulous. I love that definition. So let's wrap this episode up as well. What would be your parting comment about advice to someone how they can align their passion and their purpose with money?
Yeah. Typically, we're not passionate about things that have zero value.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that we're passionate about, there is a value associated with it. And find a way to make the thing you're passionate about your business. You know, what is the value proposition and what you're passionate about? How can I get up in the morning and do something that I'm passionate about that others find value in? So it's not going out and playing golf by yourself every day. It's a hobby. You know, find something that stirs you, that moves you, and it could be something very lofty. And it could be something that's not. I have a friend that just loves painting, and she was an executive, and she is so good. She can make anything on walls, on furniture, and just you point to it, she'll make it. She did it as a hobby, and she hated her corporate job, and now it's just her phone's ringing off the hook, and she's making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year just doing the thing that I like, painting. She turned that passion into a business, and now she's getting up and she's smiling every single day because she's doing what she wants to do. So don't worry about the money. Worry about finding a way to take your passion and creating value, right? The money comes from the value you create. And by the way, if you're passionate about something, you're going to feel more value when others are responding to your passion. It's just self-fueling. So go out and be passionate, find a way to turn that passion into something that others want. The money's coming.
Awesome, fabulous. On that note, we're going to wrap up. So, Fred, tell us, where can we find you? Where can you find you on the internet?
IdeaPros.com. You can find me there. And by the way, the very first thing you're going to see there is join for free. And if you want to be a member, you get all sorts of stuff every single week that will help you on whatever type of entrepreneurial journey that you're on, or even a life journey. We do things about personal development, entrepreneurship. We have lessons, we have meetups, we have content, community, and coaching. And I think those things are really valuable. Again, start for free. And if you ever want any other services, you're already a member, and you just say what you want and we'll make it happen. And then the other thing is on Instagram, on official Fred Cary, Cary. Go on there, about 500,000 people, or a little bit more than that right now. Maybe you guys can help me get up to 1 billion, or 1 million at least. And I'm passionate about that. I haven't made a penny doing that, but I'm on there every single day talking to people. And that's something that I'm passionate about. And indirectly, when somebody wants to cut me that $100,000 check, they go spend a half an hour with me on Instagram and see what my heart is all about, and how everything I do is purpose driven. Then people send me money without even meeting me in person, because they can see my authenticity and the passion that I have in trying to help others. So there's a perfect example of how to do it. But find me wherever. You can even actually just write to Fred at IdeaPros if you want. It drives my executive assistant crazy, but that's part of my job.
Awesome, fantastic. So if you are listening to us in the podcast, the links that Fred has just mentioned will be in the show notes. And if you're watching us on YouTube, then down below in the description section, we'll have all the links for Fred as well. Do check him out. He is an amazing, amazing entrepreneur with a whole list of accolades, as we mentioned before in the intro. He is someone who could definitely help you. Go follow him on Instagram, and at least sign up to on ideaspro.com.
IdeaPros.com.
Yeah. And then the link will be there anyway. Go check him out and do sign up for the freebie at least. If you are serious about being an entrepreneur, it's worth having an introduction to his work and how he can support you. But on that note, thank you so much, Fred, for being such an amazing guest. It's been a fabulous conversation with you today, and of course was on Friday Feature as well. It was so wonderful to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here.
And thank you for listening to me and Fred today. It's been a pleasure talking to him. I will be back with another amazing guest, finding out how you and I can build a better business. Until the next time we meet, this is Gull signing off. Take care and bye for now.